Hey, Heather here. I've got like this crazy hair going on. All right. I'm here for another daily thought, and I wanted to talk to you about the fact that, successful people never do it alone. And this might seem a little bit different than one of the messages in one of the blogs that I wrote recently around, it was a blog about the fact that I'm a coach, but you don't need a coach, right? Like you don't need a coach in order to become successful. All of the answers that you have lie within yourself. You're resourceful. Like there are ways for you to get to where you want to go without hiring a coach or a mentor. And the reason that I wrote that is because, I've seen great success in working with a coach, but at the end of the day, you know, if I'm looking for that coach to create something for me, it's never going to happen. Now, this notion of successful people never do it alone, it's a little bit different, right? So it really comes from what happens when you hit a plateau in your business. And this also comes from, if you try to do it all, you're going to stay small. So really, I'm talking about two different principles here. So let's start with the second one. If you try to do it all, you're going to stay small. And I talk about outsourcing a lot because it's just so important to business. It's so important to your success in that you build a team, that you have people who are able to support you and who are able to, if you are a 10 at something and an 8 at something else, you shouldn't be spending your time doing something that you're an 8 in. 8 is pretty good, right? Like, I might be able to create a PDF and have it turn out pretty okay. I'm pretty good with graphic design and things like that, but I'm not a 10 at it, right? So I'd rather find somebody who is a 10 and who can take that over for me. Or I might be really, really good at this is another good example. I talked to somebody recently who, it was her business, but she wasn't really great at leadership. So it was like, well, hire a manager, and the manager can manage both you and your team, and hire somebody who is really, really good at leadership and who is really, really good at managing people and at leading people, right? So don't waste your time doing all of the things that you aren't really, really good at. Because if you do, then you aren't going to have as much time to spend within your zone of genius, within those things that you are a 10 at, within the things that, you can do better than anybody else. Now, the other principle of this is really in the plateau. So whenever you go from, where you are right now to where it is you want to be, so, point A to point B type of thing, you're going to go along and you're going to experience these blocks, these plateaus, these stalls, right? It's never a nice straight line. Like it just never is. And that's cool. That's life. But a lot of people will try to do it alone and they try to find the answers for themselves and they just get really, really stuck. And um, if you kind of lose the ego and you have mentors around that you can ask for help, you know, you can go and find somebody who's already at the place that you want to be and say like, hey, I'm stuck in this plateau. I'm stuck in this spot and my wheels are spinning and I just can't quite figure out how to keep moving forward, or I feel like I'm not moving forward fast enough and I'm getting really frustrated. What is it that you did when you got stuck in this place? And they'll be like, yeah, you can do this, this, and this, but don't do this, this, and this. And you can start moving forward again. How cool is that? Right? So, when you get stuck, don't do it alone. Just find somebody who's already done it. And it might mean hiring them as a mentor. It might mean hiring them as a coach. It might mean that you just have a conversation with them, right? It might just mean that you friend them. It might just mean that you trade services with them. Like you don't need to have the money in order to do this. But when you do, when you're able to kind of dive deep and really believe that this is what you need to do and believe that is going to attract the things into your life that you want it to, then it will, right? So if you want to go out and hire a coach because you want it to be a little bit faster and you know that person's already gone through this, then go ahead and do that, right? Because you'll know that at the end of that you're going to be able to come out as being more successful. right? And so you're going to be able to reap the return of that investment. But never go it alone. Like, never feel like you have to go it alone. And know that if you try to go it alone, that it it may not be as successful as what you want it to, because you're only one person, and one person can't move a mountain, right? Like, one person can't build a pyramid. Like, there's just so many things that you can't do in a day. You have a limited amount of time, a limited amount of resources, and so reach out to the people who can support you, and never ever do it alone, right? So don't try to figure it all out for yourself. You'll drive yourself crazy. You'll get all stressed out when really there's somebody out there who can help you. And they may even be willing to do it for nothing. I mean, just ask them, like, hey, I'm stuck in this. Like, can you help me move forward? Um, who knows, right? Like, who knows? Get a mentor, get somebody who can help you with where it is that you want to go. So I will be back soon with another daily thought. And until then, I'm going to let you sit on this one. All right. Bye for now.